Which 4K release of Re-Animator has just been reported with some serious issues and errors? Well, we're going to break it down for you all today to save you that money in the wallet and to let you know which pre-order you need to keep. So let's get into this. Today's physical media news topic video, we break down all the different sets of the 4K Re-Animator coming out from each of the different studios. We go into the pros and cons and which recommendation is best for your wallet and situation. And then we get into a massive rant on why this is absolutely insanity out there, what's going to cause a massive issue for the community of collectors if we keep getting more re-releases of Re-Animator so many times. Why so many choices here? Could this really hurt our wallets more than it can help? Then we talk about the future of Re-Animator on 4K. Are we going to get it from another studio in the future as well? Is that going to be an even better edition? That and more on today's physical media breaking video. So let's get into it. So now reanimating the news here, we got to talk about all these different editions of Re-Animator to 4K. We didn't even know this movie was going to get a 4K, and now we're getting so many different options out there. But what's the best one? What's the right one for you in your situation? Which pre-order should you keep? We got to answer that right now. So of course we have Ignite Films, or Ignite Films, however you want to say it, having their 4K release. That was announced first, and you can get, I believe, a deluxe edition of it as well, which comes with a book. So there's a couple different editions there. You can do the standard edition, which is cheaper from what I understand, and that is the one I locked in the pre-order for. It was about $32 on Orbit DVD, so a little bit cheaper on their site, which is why I like using them for kind of those overseas types of releases and just find some stuff a little bit cheaper overall. So shout out to them for being amazing. Now, of course, you got to pair that up with a few other films to get the free shipping, but you should always do that anyway. Get more movies into the collection, right? But then, of course, we got to talk about the other studio that just came out with their major announcement of Re-Animator on 4K, and that's going to be Second Sight. Wow, Second Sight, you really did not want to see Ignite Films coming out with just their own release of Re-Animator on 4K. You said, heck no, we don't play that game. We are Second Sight. We've been around a long time, and we're going to come in and offer our own version of Re-Animator on 4K. That's a boss move, Second Sight. We will see if it works out. But they have their own set here too, and a deluxe edition too. So they have basically both editions, kind of what Ignite Films is doing and what Second Sight's been known for, giving the big chunky set or going with the standard release. Now, where the big difference here is in pricing, the standard release is about $30. So you save a couple bucks here if you go with Second Sight. So I guess price is going to be a factor here in choosing at least one of the factors. So we do got to consider it, but it's only a couple buck difference. So it's not a big major issue like some people are making it out to it. But yeah, they're just only a little bit of price difference there. But now let's get down to, well, why would I want to pay a higher price for Ignite Films 4K Re-Animator when I can go with Second Sight, right? Why would I even consider that? Well, we got to look at the artwork here because we know packaging and artwork are definitely big contributing factors when we do buy, boutique releases. We want nice stuff as collectors. Of course, we want a premium product to look amazing if we're going to pay premium dollars. So Ignite Films, or Ignite Films, I don't know, however you want to say it, okay? But anyway, they really caught my attention with their packaging when they first announced, because I thought the image looked really, really cool. I loved how it was kind of almost cartoony in a spooky way. It just really popped. I love the colors there. You can see like the neon greens and the purples, and it just looked really cool, very atmospheric, really represented the movie well. It just kind of popped off the box. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that got my attention and made me want to pre-order it right away. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that definitely was a big selling point for them. But then Second Sight Films comes along and they want to make this boss move by, undercutting the price of them by a couple dollars. I like that. I love seeing a cheaper price there. But then you got to also give me banging artwork, right? Make it a toss-up right there. And their artwork kind of sucks from Second Sight. I'm not going to say it's the worst thing I've ever seen, but it is kind of muted and generic and more silhouette-y and not really much going on there in the background. It's just really the Re-Animator mostly. And yeah, that's just like on green, but like a weird green color, but not really much happening. It just doesn't pop as much. And usually Second Sight does some pretty solid releases. They've done better artwork before. Also, they've done some artwork that I thought was overrated, but some people loved. This is one where I'm just like, I don't think much people like this one at all. It just doesn't pop up to me. So if you want to get this one, I guess for the cheaper price, go for it. Save a couple bucks. bucks. But in terms of the artwork, I almost want to just pay the couple bucks more for the Ignite Films one. And I'm like, you know what? They did do it first, and they have some really amazing artwork there. Now, I try to look for other differences, and you guys can let me know in the comments below if there's other big differences here I'm missing. I try to look at the special features, and they do kind of organize their special features or like layout a little bit differently, but it looked basically the same stuff. Like they have interviews, they have commentaries in there, they have a bunch of different featurettes, and some making of stuff in there. And I'm like, okay, this is matching up pretty darn closely. So maybe they're just using the same exact special features. You guys correct me if I'm wrong there. Did they go like a different interviews for these cast members and whatnot? Or are they just the same interviews? Again, copy and paste. I mean, it looked pretty similar to me. There was nothing that really stand out there where I'm like, oh yeah, that's a really amazing special feature where I have to get this specific edition for. So I can't really compare them on the special features. Now, are they doing anything different with the transfer here? That's another good question. Maybe you guys could give me the technical specs down below. Let me know. Are the transfers going to look different? I don't think they're going to look different, but maybe they're going to be night and day difference. So when we do actually view them, maybe we say, oh, wow, this one is so much better than the other. But I've heard from people that have viewed the Ignite Films one. And once again, I'm probably totally saying that studio wrong. But yeah, I heard that they were actually pretty darn good. Like it looked great. It looked like an awesome transfer, and it really popped there with the 4K. So I don't know how Second Sight is going to do it any better. I guess once again they could do different transfer work, different scans, and maybe it will look better. But the other one's already good. It's like comparing. Just I can't really say one's going to be better than the other. I actually have to see it to really let you guys know, and obviously hear the sounds and the audio tracks and see if there's any big difference there. My assumption, my guess, my prediction right now is they're not going to be too much different. But once again, I could be completely wrong on that one. But overall, they just look very comparable across the board. So it's like, well, which label do you want to support more? I mean, I guess it comes down to that and the artwork and packaging overall. And I guess the little slight price difference, but that's about it that you could say is really different here. Once again, unless I'm missing something. So once again, it just depends what you want to go for. Do you want a slightly cheaper price? Do you want a different kind of artwork? And then you got to make the decision for you. For me right now, Ignite Films is where I have my pre-order locked in, and I think I might stick with that one. But you guys let me know if I should change it over to Second Sight. But now let's get into a massive rant. But now it's time for a massive rant on why so many editions for a 4K that hasn't even come out yet is absolutely insanity and ridiculousness 2.0. This is just not good for the collecting community at all. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, hey, you always talk about having different options and editions, and why is this different now? Well, I do want different options and editions in terms of like, okay, do we have different slip covers? We have different still books from the same company, though, right? I don't like this kind of boutique label civil war that's going on right now. It's like Ignite Films did a really cool, 4K release. I think we should support them in that. But now Second Sight is coming in and like, ooh, that's a good idea to do a Re-Animator, right? Couldn't they have done other films, right? Second Sight, go after some other movies we haven't seen got the 4K yet. I hate seeing the same 4Ks come out over and over again, and it feels like it's similar to that. Like we're just getting the same 4K again. Once again, it might be slightly different. I don't know if they're adjusting the scans or transfers or whatnot, but I mean, once again, we're getting Re-Animator on 4K either way. Why did we need to get another Second Sight one here? I don't get. And they're so close in terms of release date as well. That's another thing to mention is that this Ignite Films one comes out in November, supposedly street dated. And then the Second Sight one is December. So I guess if you want it earlier, once again, that's another reason to get it from Ignite Films instead of Second Sight, I guess. But other than that, I mean, they're coming out so close together. Once again, I'm always for getting, hey, let's get those back catalog titles, the Blu-ray for the first time or the 4K for the first time, because there's a lot of horror movies out there that definitely could use some love. Isn't there Re-Animator sequels in there? I don't know if those have gotten 4K yet. Why didn't Second Sight do one of those? Right? I think we could have gone back and got some other horror movies and brought some cool 4K love to them, because I know Second Sight does beautiful work and they could have really done something else. But it feels like Second Sight is kind of a copy and paste now recently. Like same with Pearl and Maxine, right? We already knew there was going to be a A24 like triple pack one, and Second Sight just apparently, hey, let's do Pearl, let's do Maxine in there, and I'm like, but why? We're already getting them to 4K, and you guys don't even have X going to 4K. It's just weird. Why would I go for yours when I could get the more complete pack over here from A24? I don't know. It doesn't make much sense to me. I don't get what Second Sight is really trying to pull here. Do they just think that their label is so well known, so more people are going to trust in them and go Second Sight? I don't know. I've never been the biggest Second Sight fan. Yes, they do good work, but once again, there's nothing there really in terms of like amazing value for the price. Usually, once again, a lot of their nice stuff usually is very expensive. But yeah, I mean, people love them. They won my boutique label tournament, so I know they have massive fans because they won my tournament. I mean, if you missed that, check out the playlist, of course, on the channel. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Second Sight once again is just doing stuff we've already seen before. I get it, but give me something new, Second Sight. Like when they did the Nice Guys on 4K, that was cool. That was something different. The Nice Guys had only been on like Blu-ray before, but they brought it up to 4K. That was cool. I like that. I appreciate that. Can we do more things like that? Or even get some like VHS horror movies and get them up to 4K for the first time, right? Or something cool like that. Something stuck on DVD. Let's get it to 4K for the first time because there's a lot of horror movies out there that definitely deserve some boutique label love. Why do the same titles over and over again just because they think it's a safe play and it's going to sell? And people that love Re-Animator are going to get all the different editions of Re-Animator on 4K. I just don't think the community is into all that anymore. I think community is being more picky and choosy than ever before, not needing the triple, quadruple dip as much. They're being tougher on the wallets. And so I think this might just kind of, not work out for Second Sight in the long run if they keep up with the strategy. I want to see them do something different. So they disappointed me a little bit by this. But once again, those are just my thoughts. Maybe you love the Second Sight edition. You're like, thank goodness they came in and offered a different artwork on the 4K or whatever at a, I guess, slightly cheaper price. But other than that, they just did not impress me here. Now, let's talk about the future, though. So we got Second Sight in the game. Is another studio going to come to play? Most likely. So let's talk about the future now. So talking about the future of Re-Animator on 4K, if Second Sight is jumping on this train, we're probably going to get other studios to do Re-Animator on 4K as well, right? Why not Arrow do Re-Animator on 4K? Didn't they do a Blu-ray release? I wouldn't be surprised if they did their 4K release now, right? I mean, they already got the artwork. Maybe they won't change it at all. So I could see other companies, once again, we're in a boutique label civil war where they're really jumping over titles and transferring them back and forth and just doing the same titles of 4K over and over again. We've seen this with, Kino Lorber grabbing Criterion stuff, or I guess vice versa, Criterion grabbing Kino Lorber stuff. And it just seems like stuff is just jumping all around. Screen Factory and Arrow do that a lot too. And it's just like, okay, we've already seen these titles to these formats. Can we please get something new? Did they just run out of titles they're allowed to like get licenses to release? I'm sure there's stuff out there they could get and really put in some great treatment to get to 4K for the first time, but they're not choosing to do that. They're going about it like the laziest way possible and just, I guess, going with safe plays. But I just want to see more for collectors out there. Once again, there's a lot of great horror titles trapped on VHS or DVD that haven't even got Blu-ray love. Why not these boutique labels take advantage of that and do something different? Give us different catalog titles out there to Blu-ray and 4K for the first time. That'd be super cool. But it looks like, once again, they're just copying and pasting, and I'm not all about that. So unfortunately, not very excited for that. If that's the way boutique labels are going, that's a little bit disappointing. But hey, at the end of the day, we are getting Re-Animator on 4K. I guess you can kind of pick which one you most want now. So that's pretty cool. At least we're getting the movie to 4K. And like I said, I have my pre-order locked in for the one I thought was cooler artwork. You guys will have to let me know out there in the comments below. Do you think the Ignite Films one is better? The Second Sight one is better? What did I miss? Let me know in the comments below. Do you like what Second Sight is doing too with getting a lot of these titles, the 4K again and repackaging them and all that stuff. Let me know, how is this boutique label Civil War going for you guys in the comments below. Other than that, of course, go ahead and reanimate that like and subscribe, that notification bell, so you never miss another physical media news and entertainment video. Of course, hype up this video to get this information out to more collectors out there so we can grow this collecting community. That's what it's all about. So instead, boutique labels won't milk us, as much if they get more customers out there, right? But yeah, have a great day watching and talking your movies, my friends. Of course, you love this physical media topic. Go ahead and make smash another video right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.